welcome to Healthy Cooking with Shada. I'm your host, and this is where I teach you how to make healthy plant-based meals that are salt, oil, and sugar-free. Well, the cooler weather is going to be upon us shortly, and it's getting a little bit chillier at night. So what goes perfect on these cold winter nights is going to be a lot of soups and a lot of chilies. And I can't think of something that would go better with it than jalapeno corn muffins. These are so good. I used to love having cornbread with my soups and stuff, and so now we're making it with jalapenos and we're making them into a muffin, and everybody can have their own little muffin. They're absolutely delicious. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so that you can be notified with any new videos that's going to be coming out. So I have already started warming up the oven. You need to set it at 400. The recipe for this will be on my website, and we're going to get started with first getting the plant milk and the dates to soften up, because my dates were a little bit hard. They're not soft, so we're going to soak them in here before we blend them. And this will be the best way. You want to soak them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and that way they'll get really nice and soft. Now for this recipe, I am using medjool dates. You could use the deglet nor, but you might need a few more dates with that. So I'm using four medjool dates that I've chopped up, and I'm just going to leave them in here and let it, do its magic and let it get softened up. And once we're ready, we're going to blend that up. The next thing I'm going to prepare is what's called the flax egg. Because we don't do eggs, the easiest way of doing that, you're going to take, using ground flax, and I'm using the golden flax because it'll go beautifully with the color. So we're going to take 1 tablespoon, put it in a little bowl. Then you're going to mix it with, I'm going to be using a little bit of warmer water because I want to speed up the process a little bit, with 3 tablespoons of water. And that will give us our flax eggs. Once you add the water, you want to mix it really well, and you want to let it sit for about 5 minutes. And that's going to give our egg consistency. So just go ahead and mix that up and just let it sit until it does its magic and it, becomes our little egg mixture. So we're going to set that aside. So while that's doing its thing and the flax is doing its thing, we can go ahead and start setting up all the dry ingredients. So what goes in here? We've got about a cup of rolled oats that I grounded up into flour. You don't need to buy, oat flour. You can easily make this in your Vitamix or in a high-speed blender. You can just take it and mix it in there and start the process. We are using cornmeal. This is fine cornmeal, about 1.5 cups. So we've got that going in here. Then we're going to take, we're going to do our baking powder. You've got about a 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to put that in there. We're going to add, what else we're going to add? We're going to add baking soda. Hopefully you guys all like cornbread, and this has a nice spiciness to it, sweetness to it. It's just delicious. We are also going to add, now I'm not using fresh jalapenos. You certainly can use fresh jalapenos for this. You could even use a serrano, depending on the amount of heat that you want. I'm using ground jalapeno peppers, and sometimes when you're using the powder, you don't know the kind of seeds you're going to get. So I'm only putting in about 1/4 teaspoon in here. You're certainly welcome to add more. And I've noticed that sometimes when I put 1/4 in, it's not spicy, but then sometimes I'll put 1/4 in and it's extremely spicy. So use your discretion. It's completely up to you as to how much you want to use. So that's going to be it for our dry ingredients, and just give that a good mix. So once that's mixed up, now we're going to start to prepare the wet ingredients. Okay guys, so we've prepped all of our dry ingredients. We've got our flax egg doing its thing, and now we're going to blend the dates with the milk. All right guys, this is ready. You want to make sure you blend it so you don't see any flakes of the dates. So you want to make sure that the date is completely incorporated in here. You're going to pour that on top of your dry ingredients. To this mixture, we're going to add our flax egg. To this, we're going to add our applesauce. To this mixture, we're going to take our corn. This was frozen corn that I let it thaw overnight, and I'm putting that in here. Make sure when you're buying corn that you don't buy, you make sure you buy the non-GMO, because these are genetically modified, and that's not what we want. So make sure you get organic, non-GMO corn. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And that is it. Now we're going to mix everything together. Until everything is well incorporated in here. It's really nice to have chunks of corn in your cornbread. And the corn that I'm using white corn. If you want to use roasted corn, you're more than welcome to. I've never used canned corn. I don't think I've ever even bought canned corn before. So for those of you that want to use canned corn, I'm sure you could use it. Just don't, just make sure to drain it. So that's what our batter looks like. Now, let me put this away. So now I have my silicone tray that I've lined with cupcake liners that are made from parchment paper, and they're unbleached. You don't have to, if you're using silicone muffin pans, you don't have to line it. But again, I like to line them because it'll keep your silicone cleaner, and it's just, I don't know. It's just me. I guess I've always liked it that way. So now we're going to go ahead and start placing these in here. And you want to make sure that you fill the cupcakes to about a 3/4 full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. And once everything's filled up, all the cupcakes are filled, I'll be back, and we'll get ready to put it back in the oven. Okay, so my cupcakes are filled, and I'm going to be putting it in the oven at 400 degrees, and it'll probably be in there about 28 to 30 minutes until I check it with a toothpick to make sure that it comes out clean. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and I'll be back when it's all done. Our 30 minutes is up, and we're going to take the corn muffins out. Oh yeah, they look beautiful. Take a look at that, guys. Okay, so we're going to let these cool. And then we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you the finished products. I'll see you soon. Well, our corn muffins are done. If you guys could just smell these, the house smells absolutely incredible. Let's cut one in half. Not sure if you can see it, but the corn is like right there in the middle of it. So let's take a taste. It is tasty. You've got the corn underneath you, underneath your teeth. You've got a little bit of a sweet. You've got a little bit of spice. It is absolutely delicious. I cannot wait to have this with soup and with chilies, and it's just going to be a great addition, and I'm sure it'll be a great addition to your recipes as well. Remember, it's on my Healthy Cooking with Shada website. That's where you can get the recipe. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so, and please make sure to put your comments on YouTube. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And remember, guys, it's one bite at a time, one meal at a time, and stay tuned for our next video. Thank you.